The murder of George Floyd by Derek Chauvin, a 19-year veteran of the Minneapolis police force, weigh heavily on our hearts. George Floyd's unanswered pleas for help highlight a core factor of racism in this country, which is, if you're black, your pain is not taken seriously. It's as if you're subhuman. This somewhat reminded me of the black women who have died in hospitals due to preventable complications during childbirth because the staff did not take their pain seriously. In this country, if you're black, you gotta suck it up. That was Derek Chauvin's attitude when he was killing George Floyd. What's top of mind for many people, including myself, is the prosecution of Derek Chauvin. What is going to happen to him, and of course the other officers who stood by and did nothing. Police officers ought to be held to higher standards. This is not a heat-of-the-moment type of instance. There are no blurred lines here. Chauvin killed a man in broad daylight in front of witnesses, including children. His actions are a blight on the Minneapolis police force, a disgrace to the nation, and he must be dealt with accordingly. It's extremely important to have the support of our cities, local government, in order to get the justice that is needed. With that support, we can bring charges, we can arrest folks. The problem comes down to the conviction and the sentencing. Over the years, I've covered many stories like this, police and use of deadly force. Tashi Brown, a case with similarities to George Floyd. In 2017 in Las Vegas, Tashi was tased, punched, and put into a chokehold where he suffocated and died right on the Las Vegas Strip. The former Las Vegas Metro officer who killed him, Kenneth Lopera, was able to retire from the force before he was actually fired, and guess what? He was never indicted. In this case, it's very near and dear to my heart. Back in 2017, Jordan Edwards, a Mesquite High School football player, was driving away from a party when former Balch Springs police officer Roy Oliver fired into his car, killing Jordan. Oliver only got 15 years for that. 2018, Amber Geiger, the cop who murdered Botham Jean in his own apartment because she thought it was hers, got 10 years for murder. And of course, a hug from the judge. Jurors in the Amber Geiger trial explained her sentence of just 10 years as what they think Botham Jean would have wanted. Your job as a juror is not to guess what a deceased victim would want. Your job is to deliver justice. It's to set a precedent that these actions are not acceptable and will not be tolerated. Harsher sentences need to be delivered so that people understand that Black lives actually do matter.